Hello, everybody, and this is the video for Monday, November 1st for English 1101. Today, I am going to be going over the outline for the exploratory essay, which is due at the end of the week. I did move the due date for that. The due date was originally today, but what I wanted was for people to have time to really think about the feedback on the original topic proposals, and to start to think about what sources you want to use. For most of you, I included some suggested outside sources on your topics so that you can begin to read these articles, think about whether or not you want to use them, and organize your thoughts so that it will be possible for you to have a really good and complete plan for this paper. So the outline template for the exploratory essay is now on Blackboard in the Unit 2 folder. So we're going to go through that, and I'm going to explain how to fill that out and how it's going to help you to come up with a plan that will work for your paper. So let's go to our class on Blackboard. So first thing I'm going to do is do the screen sharing. And then here from our class on Blackboard, we're going to go to content. We're going to go into the Unit 2 folder, which has now gotten to be a very crowded folder with lots and lots of stuff in it. So I have pushed everything that we need for the exploratory essay to the bottom. So now it should be easy for you to find all the exploratory essay things. So if we keep going here, we've got the outline template for the exploratory essay here, and we're going to open that up. All right, so outline template for exploratory essay, due November 6th. The first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need to write out your topic in a very concise way. All right. So some people gave me paragraphs to explain their topic. You should be able to explain your topic in one sentence. So think of this as the title of your essay, except a little bit expanded, including the aspects, right? So the topic would be maybe one or two sentences, and then the title of your essay. This is what's going to go at the top of your paper when you submit it, when you're done with your essay. You can have a working title. You can decide to change your title if you like. Your two in-class sources, and then your one out-of-class source, okay? So your two in-class sources are any article that we have discussed in class up until this point, okay? Any article, but you will need two of them. All right, and then you've got your out-of-class source, which is one article that we have not discussed in class as a group. So that could be one of the sources that I have sent you as my feedback for your topic proposal, or it could be one that you found yourself. Just make sure that it is from a legitimate fact-checked source. All right, so I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Then you've got the central question in your topic that you will explore. And for this, I really want you guys to take the feedback that I gave you on your exploratory essay topic proposal. And if I suggested that you rework your question, I want to see that you have reworked your question. Do not just put the same question as you put in your topic proposal without reading my feedback. I'm going to be checking this. It's not going to be hard for me to check this because I don't have that many topic proposals. Only 7 of you in this class have submitted topic proposals. So I will be checking very carefully to make sure that you have taken my feedback into account here. All right. So and my goal is to make sure that you have a successful essay. That is my goal. So make sure that you have actually understood the feedback I gave you and that you revise your question if I asked you to revise your question. All right. Now comes the outline part, right? How to fill in the outline template. This is what the outline template is, all right? So it's just your standard outline with Roman numerals followed by A, B, and C. Each of the Roman numerals represents a section of your paper. It might be a page or it might be a little bit more than a page. Each of the letters represents a paragraph. Okay, so these letters stand for paragraphs. I want to see 3 paragraphs per page, at least 3 paragraphs per page. That's why I'm saying the Roman numerals could represent more than a page. Okay, so I want to see a minimum of 3 paragraphs per page. You can certainly add more, but I don't want to see less. Okay. So the first part of your paper is going to start with an introductory paragraph, a little bit of background to your topic, but no more than 2 sentences. I don't want to see any introductions that go on for a whole page without stopping. People tend to do that when they begin writing, and that's just fine for a first draft. For a first draft, it's no problem. Just kind of put it all out there and, get it out of your system. But when you are ready to submit your paper, your introductory paragraph should be no more than 1/3 of the page, okay? So your background to your topic, no more than 2 sentences, your topic, and then your central question. That should be a paragraph of no more than about 5 or 6 sentences maximum, okay? That is followed by 3 body paragraphs. You're going to start those on your first page. So that means the 3 aspects about your topic that you want to explore. So that's like 3 sides or 3 sub questions to your guiding question. 3 parts of it: aspect 1, aspect 2, and aspect 3. Okay, so so you're going to lay out to your reader. There are, so for example, let's say that you're talking about access to online learning, right? So online learning technology and how well it's working for us during the pandemic. Let's say that's your topic. So aspect 1 might be the stress that students experienced during the transition, finding access to all the technology and keeping up with their schoolwork in the online classroom environment, right? So you could get some quote from some articles on that topic. Aspect 2 might be stress, right? You could look at the issue of online digital technology and how that impacts things like eye strain, possible sleep disorder, difficulty concentrating, just sort of the physiological effects of spending a whole lot of time in front of the computer, right? I'm just spinning these out right now. These don't have to be your aspects, but let's say that aspect 3, you want to look at economic in unevenness, economic, the unfair distribution of resources and how this impacts who does well in the online classroom, right? So people with greater economic resources tend to do better in the online classroom for obvious reasons. They have better computers, better bandwidth, better internet access, right? So let's say those are my 3 aspects, and I'm going to discuss these, and then I go on to my 3 sources. Remember, 2 in-class sources and 1 out-of-class source. What does source 1 have to say about any of these 3 aspects? What does source 2 have to say about any of these 3 aspects? You can take those aspects in any order that makes sense to you. And the point is, your sources need to be speaking to these. All right, so make sure that you keep it focused on your 3 aspects when you choose the quotes from your sources. You're going to continue to do the same thing on the next page, right? What source 1 has to say, what source 2 has to say, what source 3 has to say. Again, the order in which you take these aspects is up to you. It's whatever makes sense for you, but I want you to talk about 3 different parts. I want you to divide your topic into 3 different parts of your topic that you want to talk about, because you want your source quotes to connect with your topic, not just be random quotes, but connect with parts of your topic. So you need to decide what those parts are first before you select your quotes. And then on your fourth page, this is where your reflections come in, right? So you've been holding back your opinions. You're not going on, a tangent about what you think about all these things during the parts where you're quoting from your sources. But when you get to that fourth page, you have time to consider what all of your sources have said, and this is where you weigh in, right? What are your reflections? This is also where you can bring in your personal experience. So if you have personal experience with your topic, you can weigh in here on your last page. If you have strong opinions one way or the other about what your sources have said, this is where you put them. Just generally your reflections on the paper itself, or any other questions you think it brings up. So in other words, if you have questions about if your guiding question has not been fully answered by the time you get to the last page, then you raise the further questions here, right? So sources have had lots of, insightful things to say about this topic, but I'm still wondering about X, right? That's where you can put this here. So in other words, you don't have to have strong conclusions or opinions. You can end your reflections on questions if more questions come up. So read the instructions carefully, right? You're going to just type directly into the sheet, right? Follow the instructions carefully, and you're going to fill these out, right? With, and if you are not quite sure yet, what you're going to say in each of these parts, then you are going to just put to be determined, okay? So TBD means to be determined, right? So look up at the instructions here, and it explains, open the links to your sources and keep them open as you're filling out the form. Your sources are necessary to help you focus the plan. Write the outline points directly into the outline template sheet. If you come to a part of the outline plan you're not sure of, you may put TBD, to be determined, okay? The most important part of the outline to complete is part 1. So in other words, if you have a lot of TBDs in part 2, 3, and 4, that's okay. It's not a big deal, but I really want to see this part thought out. So in other words, I want you to have your topic clear and the 3 aspects clear of what you want to talk about, right? And if you have been reading your sources carefully, you should have an idea by now of what source 1 and source 2 have to say about your topic. In other words, source 1 and 2 are the in-class sources. We studied them. We did assignments related to them. We did discussion board posts related to them. So you should be familiar with them by now. All right. So if you, so I would really like to see you guys really focus on the first part of it. In other words, your 3 aspects, you should know the 3 aspects you want to talk about. You should have a sense of what at least the in-class sources have to say about it. And then if you put TBDs in this last section, that's fine. But I want you guys to have a plan that's going to work for you. Okay. So again, due November 6th. It's a kind of a funny due date because it's a Saturday night. But I figure it's better to give you guys one more day of when you're not going to be in class to really focus on this so that it comes out well. All right. So that's what we're looking at. So again, this is the Unit 2 folder, and there are lots of useful things in here. I put everything, like I said, related to the topic proposal at the bottom. I'm going to move this up to get that out of the way. So exploratory essay assignments, right? And then topic proposal. Again, if you have not yet submitted a topic proposal, that was due October 25th. Please submit a topic proposal. I will get back to you on it as soon as I get it. Also the outline template for the exploratory essay here. And another useful thing, an updated in-class source list. So the other thing that you need to do is tell me what your two sources are, and I want to see them formatted as they're going to be formatted on your references page. So this is a complete list of in-class sources that we've discussed in class up until now. And when you look at it, it's pretty impressive. Look at all the stuff we've read. Pretty impressive, right? So all you need to do for this, for your two in-class sources to go on your works cited page, you're just going to do a copy and a paste, right? So copy and paste, right? So this is the format for the works cited page. Do not make any changes. If it looks funny to you because the name is sticking out, that is the way it's supposed to be. I don't want to see this changed any amount at all, right? This is exactly the way it needs to be on your works cited page. So in other words, last name, first name. If you have more than one author, that continues, second author, right? Last name, first name, period, and then the title of the article, and then the news organization, and then the date of publication, and finally the URL, okay? If you give me an outside source, I want you to format it this way, okay? You need to know the author, and lay it out in this way so your works cited page will not be a big mystery to you, okay? So that's what I want to see. And if I see, if you submit to me an outside source that you choose to use and it isn't formatted this way, I'm going to send it back to you and tell you to format it because we need to learn how to do this, all right? But I'm going to keep these right here. The in-class source list is already formatted exactly the way it's supposed to be for your works cited page, okay? So you may just simply find your two articles from this list and copy and paste them into the template at the end as your two sources without changing anything. And the one thing I definitely do not want to see, all right, I'm gonna make this really clear. I'm gonna stop the sharing, look at everybody in the eye. I do not want to see just a URL. I do not want to see just a URL as a source. That's not a source citation. You need the last name of the author, the first name of the author, the title of the article, the news organization, and the date of publication. You need all of those things. And finally, after that, you put the URL. So do not send me a works cited page or references page of just URLs. I will send it right back to you and tell you to format it. Okay, and the reason I'm being so strong about this is because you would be amazed how many times I get this. I mean, dozens and dozens and dozens of times I get just a URL as a source. It's not a source and it won't be accepted in any academic environment as a source citation. So please format it the way it's formatted in the source list. That's what it's there for, okay? And it's easy because all you have to do for your in-class sources is copy and paste, right? Without changing anything. So that's where we're at, and that is what's due at the end of the week. Now, I'm not going to have any other reading assignments between now and then because I know that it's midterms, and I also know that most of you still need to get in a topic proposal. So we're going to take a little bit of a breather here and just focus on getting that exploratory essay organized, right? So that's our whole focus for this week. I will upload another video on Wednesday. But please email me if you have any questions. Thank you very much, everybody. I am really looking forward to reading your papers, and you guys have come up with some really interesting ideas for what to write about. So everybody have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon.